Hello and welcome everybody. This is the Glorious Bastards first look at the new Airwolf and Redwolf mod for Arma 3. For those of you who might be new to the channel who haven't seen things before, we've worked quite extensively with the mod for Arma 2. We've made some modifications and things to it ourselves in order to get it as realistic as possible. So this is the our first look. We haven't touched these models or anything at all. I've set it up so we can fly. I'm Brad. I'm joined by my brother Greg.
Hello everyone.
And yeah, so I've set it up so we can fly, but this really is our very first look. I've kind of tested in the game that everything works, but we haven't really had much of a chance to explore and take a look at things. So this is going to be a bit of an exploration of some of the stuff that's available in the mod, and yeah, a bit of a review, I think. I think it's very important to mention right off the bat that this is the first version that's been available. I don't think it's a finished version. I think we're going to find some things that maybe need a bit of work. We're not here to obviously run down everybody. We're not modders, we're not modelers. The guys who've built this can clearly do it a lot better than what we can. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean this is really my first view. I don't have Arma 3, so this is my first view of it. So yeah, I'm excited. From what I can see so far, it looks pretty decent.
So I think let's start out by having a bit of a look at some of the guys. There are basically 3 Airwolf crew options we've got. The first one is this guy over here, who doesn't have a helmet, but he does have the Airwolf flight suit. So if we get up close and have a bit of look, I mean that's a lovely patch on his shoulder. He does look quite a bit like
the
Hawk.
attention to detail is good.
Okay, so that's that guy. Then you can see it's even the boots. They kind of look like Hawk's boots. Then if we move along, the next version has the helmet, but with the visor open. Again, not like you were saying, that attention to detail is
Yeah, I like
brilliant.
the attention to detail in these suits. Switches on the side of the helmet, and
yeah, even the tube, the little radioactive patch thing on the.
yeah, I like it.
That's very nice. So yeah, I'm not very familiar with Arma 3. Like I said, we haven't played it at all, so I'm still kind of learning the game and how the setup and everything is as we're going as well. The third version is this guy who has got the visor closed, which is actually you can
Very
also,
nice.
yeah, and you can equip them with their own firearms and things like that as well.
And tell me, Brad, do you know if can you drop your visor, or if your visor's open, can you open and close it, or is it just set how it's set?
I think it's just set how it's set. I haven't been able to do anything with it.
Okay.
But we're currently playing as the guy who has the visor closed. You can see his look around and things as well.
Yeah, no, they look good. I mean that's already better than Arma 2. Arma 2, we could never get the Airwolf pilots to work. So, I mean, this is already a step up from that.
Yeah. You can see there's some wildlife here out on the tarmac. There's a couple of rabbits and a snake. Yeah, quite a lot going on there. So I think then the next thing that we need to do is probably have a look at Redwolf.
Yeah.
A couple of things jump out at me straight away. It does look a little bit like a repaint of Airwolf. They have added the turbo inlets on the side, which the Red Wolf in the show
Never
didn't
had.
had. Yeah.
And the nose also, it doesn't have that protrusion out on the top. So
No,
at least that's accurate. So it's not a complete just reskin of Airwolf.
no, they have tweaked it a little bit. The other thing that really jumps out at me with this, as opposed to the, I suppose we should call it the show accurate version, is this is very glossy. Just like
Yeah,
it's very reflective, whereas the Red Wolf that was in the show was very much matte all over, I think.
yeah.
I'm just going to switch back to the first person view, just that we're not in the shot distracting it. Yeah, that's a bit better. So let's get a little bit closer, I think. We can see inside the interior. It's also got the red on the windows, which I don't think the show one
Yeah,
had.
I think in the show one it was white, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they kind of have the muscular bulge on the side as well, which the show didn't have. It was more the standard 222 that was repainted.
Yeah,
So you can also see it's got the full interior, the same as what Airwolf has, whereas in the show it was cut off. It was very much a single crew aircraft as opposed to the three crew one. Whereas this model seems to be, oh, wiping my.
I see the paint job is also, there is a bit of a lack of attention to detail. If you have a look here on the nose.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And also down there on the side, there's little bits of white and stuff.
Yeah. So you can see that they kind of just repainted the Airwolf and then just removed that protrusion from the nose. Got the camera here on the side, which the screen accurate Red Wolf didn't have.
I see exactly what you're talking about. You can actually even see the lines there
Yeah.
where the protrusion was. So it's very much
Just a reskin.
just a reskin. There's also something, and I'll get to the Airwolf one as well. There's something slightly off with the proportions, I feel. I don't know if it's the turbo inlets that are too small or they're too sculpted, but something doesn't look quite right in the profile of it. Something's just off.
If you go, give us a side view.
Yeah, I will in a second. I just want to just step back here and just look. It almost looks like the body's too fat and the wings are too small.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So if we go to the side view, let's just walk around there and just have a look. See, that doesn't look so bad. It maybe looks a little bit thick on top.
It looks a little bit stubby, I'd say.
Stubby's probably a good word, yeah. The other thing I've noticed is, because I mean we've worked with the one in Arma too, and I feel like those proportions are a lot more accurate. But like I said, this is very much version 1. Even at the back here, something looks a little bit too fat. You know, I think by those exhaust inlets on top.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit big up there, where I think Airwolf's more. And even down where the wings and the turbo outlets are, I think the turbo outlets are in proportion to everything else. Like, kudos to the guys who have built this. I couldn't do it. I'm not a modeler, so I think as a first version, it's fantastic. But I do think it maybe needs a little bit more work.
Yeah, just I mean, I think it's like you say. I don't know what all goes into it, but it really is minor tweaks. I think that can be done
Yeah. Also, like this red coming in above the turbo like that, that's not right. That black line from the turbo
Yeah,
inlet should extend all the way up. There's something funny there with that. That doesn't make sense.
yeah. Yeah, the turbos up on the top are definitely quite large. I think that's what's giving it that fat look.
Yeah, those exhaust inlets. All right, so let's move over and take a look at the lady herself. If we face her dead on like this, that body definitely looks quite wide compared to the wings and the turbo
Mm.
inlets. There's
I think
definitely
if the wings and the turbo inlets were maybe a little bit bigger, I think that's actually the turbo inlet and the wings are too small.
mm. And also the exhaust inlets on top. I think they're a little bit rounder in real life. Those look a little bit. The shape looks a little bit flatter than what I think the actual ones were on Airwolf.
Yeah.
Um, Again, it's very glossy. I think they also have gone with a flat black paint,
Mm.
which I don't think is 100% right. We experimented quite a bit well, you experimented more than what I did when we did our Airwolf model for Arma 2 when we reskinned it, and it's
Yes.
it's very much not a flat black. Um, there's a lot of nuance to that. I mean, there's arguments in the forums that go on and on and on about if it was Toyota green or flat black or uh, there's a special grey or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's Phantom Grey or something
Phantom
like
grey,
that. Yeah.
yes, yes. There's a lot of argument as to myself. Um, the other thing that I would like to point out is they've got red tips on the main rotors, which isn't right.
Mhm.
I think it either be yellow or just be black. Those red tips don't match. But I love that. I love these cameras. Like
Yeah.
that's
And I mean, I like how the pop rivets stick. I mean, that's accurate. That's amazing detail. And that camera inside there, incredible.
I was just about to say that. It looks like there's still a bit of heat haze. If we go to the back here and look up into the turbo exhausts, even when they're off, it looks like there's a little bit of a redness to inside there.
Yeah.
And again, we've got this white triangle that's coming in here, and I don't think that's right.
No. So I don't think so.
So I think that throws off. It looks like the sunglasses, sunburst panel. That looks like it's slightly different. It doesn't quite match the rest of the body. It sort of sticks out a little bit.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, I mean, I also those little strips up on the top there, also screen accurate.
this kind of these weld seams or rivet seams at the back.
Yeah.
Compared to the black ones, they're a little bit disappointing. These lines just look drawn on.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I agree.
those other rivets that were in front looked really, really nice. And these bulges, if we come around to the side here a little bit and look at these exhaust exits here, that doesn't look right to me. That looks very swollen.
Yeah.
Is probably
I
the word.
definitely think that plays a big part in that kind of fat look to it.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice they've
It would
got the
be
light on the back though.
it would be interesting to if it was the right color, because I like on Airwolf, I like the reflectiveness. Because she did have that reflection. It was just Red Wolf that was matte.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
know that Airwolf had those strips on the nose that was matte to reduce glare.
Yeah, just looking at that tail rotor, I think it's also supposed to be two red stripes on the tail rotor.
Mm.
Um,
I think so.
The glass looks really good.
Yeah.
The glass is fantastic. I see that, yeah, there is no matte thing on, but that's a very minor detail.
I like how, on the Armor 2 version, the tip of the nose is quite jagged and these edges are nice and smooth.
Yeah, no, they are fantastic. And I mean, there's the mid-air refueling port, there's the other things below there. It really does look fantastic. Like those details are really good. But again, that stubbiness on the wing seems to come through.
Mm.
You can see
It'll
if we
be
look.
interesting to see how with the weapons deployed, how it looks from the outside. But,
Yeah,
I mean, that glass looks incredible.
yeah,
It
that
looks real.
footwell's amazing. And then yeah, I mean you can see out there where the ADF pod goes, those rails are there. That looks quite good.
Well,
So
should we
yeah,
hop inside and have a look and see how she looks inside?
I think we should. So we've got this animation going, which we didn't have in Armor 2, sorry, where we can actually see um, see some movement from the pilot, which I think is awesome. We can look around the cabin. So this is what it would look like to actually be an Airwolf. We can look back to Dom Station. That looks pretty cool to me. We can see some movement on the joystick, which I think is absolutely fantastic.
I like the fact that we can see that joystick movement and
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So again, you can see there's some animation to getting in and out. We've deployed the guns and ADF pods, so let's go have a look at them.
ooh, those look good.
They do.
Very detailed.
Very detailed indeed. Very show accurate. Oh, there's even the bullets.
Ah, awesome. Oh, that's incredible.
That's a nice detail. So let's crawl underneath and go have a look at the ADF pod. I'd say I'm pretty happy with this.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sure, even that, can even see down.
Yeah.
No, that looks good to me.
So let's hop into the back. Let's open that door. There we get in. Again, there's a bit of an animation going on there, which is quite cool. Yeah, this is really nice. This is definitely far more detailed than what Armor 2 was.
Definitely, sure. I mean, it's even got outside cameras that you can see what's going on outside from the back there.
Yeah. I think the guys that did this were French because all of the menus and everything, a lot of it seems to be in French. So you can see what's in the inventory. Not a lot. First aid kit, some grenades, and a whole bunch of parachutes. Okay, reload, guns, countermeasures, deploy turbos. Okay, so I think The best thing then is going to be to actually take her up.
I agree.
Again, there's a little reverse animation getting out. Oh, I've gotten... Oh, I've gotten into the wrong area. Sorry, my bad.
Well, we can just have another look. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like these little animations of doors closing and locking in and everything like that.
Yeah. No, that's much better than the Arma 2 as well.
Can see from behind. Yeah, it definitely looks a bit too fat on top.
Yeah.
Okay, so we seem to have a bit of a radar screen on the right there, I think, or it's navigation. So I think the best thing to do now is to get going. There's a bit of a HUD that comes up when you turn the engines on.
And can you toggle that on and off or not?
Doesn't look like it. Can look around the cockpit a bit. Okay, I'm going to switch to the external view, I think.
Is there an optic view at all? If you take control of the weapons.
No, I can kind of zoom in. Let me just switch back to inside and I'll show you. So you can kind of zoom like that.
Okay.
If I fire off the miniguns, it's kind of going where it's... You can see there's quite a reflection on the glass as well, yeah. Even see above. So I'm going to switch back to the external view for now.
Yeah, let's take a look at it up in the air.
And yeah, zoom in, she does look a little bit pregnant.
But on top.
Yeah, and down by those turbos. You can see as well, there's even when the turbos aren't engaged, there's a bit of a heat haze that comes off the turbo outlets.
Yeah, I see that, sure.
Look at the side view, she actually looks pretty good as well. Try not to crash into anything.
Yeah, no, she does look good, but definitely that white stripe on the side there above the turbos that's not right.
Yeah. So
But it is really just minor stuff.
So if we engage the turbos, there is we don't get that boost from the turbos that
we did in
Arma 2. So that I think probably needs to be done in a config file or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be like engaging afterburner kind of thing.
Yeah.
That looks good.
I do think they need to also do some work on this audio file because there's quite a bit of that scream of the turbos happening.
It's like they used the wrong loop.
Yeah.
But that kind of angled front view, she actually looks quite good.
It does, yes. Yeah, I'm just going to switch back to the interior because it's quite noisy out there.
Yep.
So this is also the lair add-on.
That's very handy to have.
Yeah. So what I did is there is a landing pad inside there. And there's actually enough, because I don't have the confidence to fly to get her in there just yet. The other thing that I noticed is that the gear retracted automatically when we took, where in Arma 2 we had to basically put that gear up ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's so you can see as well from that third person point of view that there's also a little animation of getting in and out of the...
Yeah, which is nice. I like that, and I also like the fact that this mod doesn't have that transparent effect with the dust and things that Arma 2 had.
See, like there, that looks really nice at this angle. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
When you look back.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I'm hoping that they actually, carry on working on it and do some more tweaks and adjustments and...
Yeah, especially with Arma 3 being more modern and more played, I think, than Arma 2.
Yeah, being a lot more popular and stuff as well.
Yeah. So hopefully this is just like a beta version and they're going to do some improvements.
Because I definitely think there's a market for it. There's a call for it.
Definitely. I mean, I've seen a lot on the Facebook groups. People wishing that there was an Airwolf simulation and things. So I mean, if this can still be tweaked and worked on, there you've got it.
Now somewhere around here is supposed to be a side opening, which we can actually, it's a little side tunnel that we can actually run through in order to get into the lair. Because if we have to try to get in from above, it's just going to be a mission.
And we'll probably die. But we know strangers to dying.
This is true. Okay, I don't think this is quite right. I think it's a glitch, but if it's a glitch, we'll just make the glitch work for us. I'll just cheat it a bit while we figure things out. Look at me, I can magically walk through walls.
So it's very nice, I mean, I like the lair. It's something that we lacked in Arma 2 as well.
Much so. Very much so. And this thing with the platform with the spotlight is also quite cool. I mean, there you are. There's Airwolf sitting in the lair, and you can look up through the chimney.
And it's even got rays of light coming in the top there. Did you see?
Rays of light?
Shining through from the chimney there.
Let me have a look. Oh yeah, I can see what you're talking about.
I love those the detail with those rivets. It really, if
And
those
those
rivets could
cameras.
be carried out throughout the rest of the body, it would be
100%.
incredible.
Okay, let's see if we can get this one out the lab. And I am semi-confident. We'll cheat us a little bit.
I'm fully confident in you.
Oh, there's the gear going up. Slowly, slowly. Oh, slowly. That's a wall. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Quite. Nope. We've lost that. It was ugly, but we're out. That screaming howl all the time.
Yeah, but I mean that can also be quite an easy fix, I think. I think that there's sound files that you can get on YouTube, and if you're also able to edit the config scripts, I'm pretty sure that you could trade that out for just the sound of Airwolf flying, eh?
Yeah. So I don't see anything on the radar. There should be an enemy plane around somewhere, and there should be an enemy ground unit which we should hopefully pick up. So let's talk about the weapon options a little bit.
Do we have as many options as we had in Arma 2?
No, we don't. We basically have the cannons and the machine guns. The first one fires red traces, the second one fires green. And we've got some reloads of that. And also, to me, it's just messy. The guns kind of fire from the center of the fuselage, not from where the actual guns are.
And the missiles, do they fire out the
ADF pod? So let's just take a look. Yeah, the missiles look pretty good.
Yeah.
And again, there's 20 and then a reload. But that's it. We don't have the different firepower options with like sidewinders and hellfires and red eyes. It's only these high explosive rockets. And I'm not sure if it's possible to lock on with them. So at the moment, with just me in the cockpit, so there's nobody sitting in the gunner chair or...
Yeah, you might find out, because I think in Arma 2 you have to have the gunner in to be able to lock onto stuff, so that's also something that we need to test.
Yeah, we'll have to play around with that. Put some enemies in, put some... It feels like to fly Airwolf.
Yeah, I think it's the closest we've been, eh?
We're not doing it at turbo speeds, we're just flying it like a normal helicopter. But yeah, with the reflections on the glass and all of that, it'll be interesting to actually try this with a VR headset.
Yes, that's actually true.
So So I might just need to dust off the old VR headset and see how it connects.
I see you do pick up a good bit of pace though.
It's certainly not slow. I mean, what is that top speed there in the top left?
Looks like it was 277.
I mean, that's not bad. If we hit turbos, it doesn't make any sort of difference. It also makes the turbo noise when you turn the turbos on and when you turn it off.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to talk about is the flares, the countermeasures. So we've got your normal options. And then if you actually select sunburst menu, it then opens the but again it very much seems to...
Oh, that's just a nice little detail.
It is a nice detail. It's a nice detail. It's the version of Arma 2 did kind of automatically pop open the doors, release the flares, and then close the doors on its own. Whereas this one, you much have to manually open the doors, manually eject the flares, and then close the doors behind. So let's see what sort of speed we're getting there. Let's see if we can get it up to 300. This is fun. Flying her low like this at speed. Oh, almost 300.
Because what did we get her up Arma 2? I think it was around 300, wasn't it?
Without the turbos, yeah.
With the turbos.
Yeah, so there's definitely some scripting that needs to be done with that. We've also got the ADF pod and gun controls. I know with Arma 2 that our speed was limited with the turbos with that, so let me just retract them. And see if that makes any sort of difference if we hit turbos. Doesn't seem to, but we're topping off at what, about 317?
Yeah, which isn't, I mean, it's not that bad.
No, but it's not Mark 1.
But it's not Mark 1 now.
That sound is very irritating for the... every time you go outside. Like it's literally just screaming at you the whole time.
We're gonna have to see if we can edit the sound files.
Yeah. Figure out how to do some mod. Hopefully there's gonna... Hopefully this is like a beta release.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of action
if anyone
happening with
watches
these
this
gauges.
video and the guys who created it, you know, let us know.
Absolutely. Let's get in touch. Let's help each other out.
Yeah.
I love that joystick movement.
Yeah, look at there is a definite lift in realism compared to Arma 2, I must say.
So if you were to rate these, if you were to compare the version that we're flying in Arma 2 and this version, what would you rate them out of 10?
Look, I mean, I'd say there is some. I mean, it's just minor changes. I'd say this version. I'd say like a 7, 8 out of 10. And then if I look at our version, it's pretty close to, I'd say like a 9 out of 10 for Arma 2. You know, because we do also still have our issues in Arma 2, like there's that transparency with the dust, the jagged kind of edges. But
it's not as, you don't have that beautiful reflective skin that this has. I'll agree with that. I would say the Arma 2 version, where we've got it to now, is as close to, it's not perfect, but I would say 8.5 to 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And yeah, this for me, I'm going to be a little bit harsher than you, maybe because I've actually flown it, and I'm going to say probably a 6. I think it needs quite a lot of work there. I feel like a combination of the two would be perfect.
Yeah.
If I could get this skin with the reflective textures and this windscreen, because even this reflective windscreen, it's taken me a while to get used to it, but it feels so real now.
Yeah.
Like if I could get the skin, the textures onto the Arma 2 model, I think it would be pretty close to perfect. You know, the way that the Arma 2 model performs flight-wise with its turbos and
the range of weapons that it's got.
The way that the sunbursts deploy, but like the interior on this, the character animations of the guys getting in and out, your options with the guys in their flight suits.
Yeah.
The perfect one lies somewhere in between, and also the shape of the model. For me, that's quite a big one. There's definitely some
proportions that
are out, and it's not out by much. And like I said at the beginning, I'm not a modeler. For people out there who'd say, oh well, let's see you do better, I don't think I could.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, kudos to these guys. They've definitely been able to do something that we haven't.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a fantastic start. It really is. It's a fantastic start to work off.
Yeah. And we might be able to do some work as well, you know, as we learn and start exploring. Oh, that was a rough landing. What's that you always say? Any landing you can walk away from is a good one?
Exactly.
It's not exactly in the lair, so I'm going to count that as a win. I'm going to say that Stringfellow Hawk and me are the two people who can get it in and out of the lair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was ugly. That was very ugly. Oh yeah, I think I'm hurt.
Yeah, well, you're still alive, which is the important thing.
Absolutely, and the lady's in one piece.
Yeah. How is the crash animation of Airwolf?
Well, Greg, there's only one way to find out.
Because I know on Arma 2 there isn't really one. Like you explode, but Airwolf still basically stays intact. So.
Well, for science, we're gonna have to find out. Let's check it out. I'm probably gonna regret that.
Yeah, look, I think the comments were you crashing Airwolf, but you know it's not me, so it's fine.
I do have to say that this interior view in the lair with the reflections and the rocks is there we go. Is a little bit disconcerting.
Yeah. And you can't exactly that howling sound from the outside view.
Yeah,
that's even more disconcerting.
Very bad. We're gonna have to switch. I got it right. It's probably a little bit cleaner than the earlier one. So we're probably gonna have to switch to that outside view to have a look at that animation for the crash.
Yeah.
And then I think the only thing that's really left for me to do is to stuff this big bird into the ground somewhere.
As hard as you can.
As hard as we can. Alright, so let's get some speed. I feel like my life is about to flash before my eyes.
Yeah. Or you'll just die.
It goes against every instinct in my body to actually willingly crash Airwolf.
I think it will go against everyone's. You're not alone in that. I'm glad that I'm not you, actually.
And you know, as much as I'm trying to...
You're trying to put it in the ground, but it's not going.
It's not going. Okay, let's try to get that bank round. I don't think I hit quite hard enough because there was no explosion.
No.
Okay, so let's try that again. Oh, woe is me, I'm too good a pilot to crash properly.
Either that or there's no crash animation.
Which is also possible. But I feel let's see if we can try to get an explosion. So let's do this a little bit differently.
Why don't you... Maybe it'll make you feel better. Have you flown Red Wolf yet?
I have not.
So let's crash Red Wolf.
Well, let's just try Airwolf one more time.
Try to save you. But it's fine, let's do it.
Let's get some altitude. And then just come in really hard and just belly flop it in.
I'd even say maybe try, like, bring her down on her rotors there.
Your wish is my command.
You know, flip her. It's really do her dirty.
Ogly dogly. Oh yeah, no, it's a proper explosion. That's some smoldering wreckage.
Well, at least. How did you feel doing that?
Sick to my stomach.
Yeah, well, at least, okay, well, that also adds to the realism, which I like. Now it'll be interesting to hear Red Wolf.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah, it looks like this red, a little bit iffy inside.
Yeah, look, I don't think it had the same
Got the
attention
same
to detail.
No, it's got the same weapons as Airwolf as well. Very much a reskin with that center thing just taken off. Yeah, and if we look outside, yeah. Yeah, look, the Red Wolf, I think I would probably give a rating of 3.
Yeah.
It does that scream outside as well. Toothpaste. Like, call me a purist, but like, I prefer the screen accurate version of Red Wolf. I know a lot of people say like, oh, it would have had the turbos if they'd had the budget to do it properly, but it didn't.
Yeah, that's,
You know, it was...
that's the truth. There's a jet.
Where?
Up above you. Going off to the left.
I think we're on the same side, so I wouldn't be able to lock onto him anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You know, at the end of the day, we've seen the comments where people are saying, yeah, but if Red Wolf had turbos and blah blah blah. But yeah, at the end of the day, it didn't, and I think this probably needs a lot more tweaking than the Airwolf mod to get it to that screen accuracy. I mean, I'm sure the weapons look the same as Airwolf. Yeah, it doesn't have a laser.
There's the jet you're talking about. I can't lock on, but we are on the same side, so I wouldn't be able to lock on anyway. See if we can try to get closer to him.
How would you say the flying feels compared to our Arma 2 version?
Very similar.
Very similar. Not like one's easier to fly than the other, or?
No, not based off of what I've seen so far. Let's see if we can line this guy up. Oh, got him.
Hey! Think you like a little Harlan Jenkins.
You got that right, buckaroo. Okay, so even without lock-on, it's still possible to shoot down.
Yeah. Which
You just have to be good.
Yeah. It is good to know.
I don't feel like these graphics are streaks ahead of Arma 2. Like, they're definitely better, but it's not night and day.
Yeah. Yeah, look, the terrain and stuff looks very, very similar.
Yes.
And I'd imagine that there's also, like, the, and those, ace mods and things like that you can also improve explosions and water effects and all of that kind of stuff. I'd imagine that Arma 3 has all of those as well. You know,
Yeah.
we added a lot to Arma 2, eh?
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be interesting to see like some of the other aircraft and things there, how they look.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's quite nice taking it quite close to the ground in these rocks, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, this Red Wolf definitely looked a bit rushed, eh?
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's come and set her down.